Hey everybody, welcome back to Pixel Junkies. You're listening to the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 197. I'm one of your hosts, Rory.
I am another one, Aaron.
I am another one, Adam.
I am the best and last.
Jesus Christ.
We've been doing this for like 4 years and we're still awful. We're never going to get picked up by Rooster Teeth.
I don't want to be picked up by them. Fuck off.
I don't want to
Fuck
believe
off.
Austin.
Is that not what we're doing this?
Yeah, we've been trying to get picked up with Rooster Teeth this whole time, not to be deterred by their severe decline in quality.
Well, there's no chance now.
I like the idea of Bernie being like, well, I'm going to make these kids an offer. Oh, new podcast is up. Let's just see how it's going just before I pen this final letter. And he looks, he just crumples the paper. In the middle of the podcast, Rory slams his fist down on his desk. Bernie Burns has a small penis. Bernie Burns like, I do not. Arrest them. I have to go on and rant about the latest iPhone.
Anyway.
Talking
Rory's
about
back.
I'm
Rory's
back.
after a multi-year hiatus.
Yeah, I've been pretty much dead for the past month.
Shoot some shots at Rooster Teeth.
That's right, yeah. And speaking about older people in the games industry, I want to talk about our first topic, which is that Reggie, beloved Reggie.
Oh no, did he die?
Retiring? No. The
Somebody spilled some water on him and he short-circuited, so now they're retiring the model.
yeah, exactly. He didn't buy the water protection. They didn't buy the water protection, and so he's retiring. He's been the face of Nintendo to Western audiences for a pretty long time.
I figured it was just as easy to get the Reggie app on their phone, and then they didn't have to incorporate it with their normal Reggie model.
Well, they built a new one with a better name for their brand.
I guess he's becoming Reggie Gygas.
Is it Reggie U or
That's one for all my Pokemon
Reggie
buddies out there.
Switch?
So did anyone? I'm just curious, because I watched it. Why I
Game
watched
Reggie.
it is a mystery. Oh my
Reggie
god!
64.
I thought Aaron was joking. Never mind. We're gonna address this in a moment. But so I watched the Nintendo Direct they had recently. Anyone else watch that? Adam?
I watched highlights from it. I didn't watch it, then I watched the full thing because I can't be bothered.
I like that Rory asked, did anybody else watch it, and then realized most of the way through that only Adam would have been the one who would have watched it.
No, there's no way.
Redirected it to Adam.
Did anybody watch that, Adam?
I watched it myself actually, and it
Oh shit!
like there was sort of like maybe one or two interesting things, and then like a lot of other things that were just like shapes playing with other shapes, right? Like Nintendo.
Typical Nintendo stuff.
It's amazing how like old school, in some ways being old school is the best thing about Nintendo, in that they're still very game focused as opposed to being sort of app and entertainment center focused. But
And Nintendo, for all I've railed against Nintendo, and Nintendo's deserved every single bit of criticism I've ever heaped upon it, I will say Nintendo doesn't seem to be in the process of dicking around its user base to quite the same extent as some other AAA developers like EA and Activision.
Yeah, I agree with this.
its own developers, its own employees. They seem to actually treat their employees quite well from everything I've read. So there we go.
Yeah,
they don't have to worry about
reputation in
800
that
people
regard.
losing their jobs. But we'll probably get to that.
But
Because all
relative
you're
to
gonna
the
get is
typical
$18 million
Japanese-
bonus.
Well,
environment.
Reggie stepping down is really interesting, but I thought Aaron was messing with me when he put that Doug Bowser is stepping in to replace him. I was like, oh, that's funny.
Oh no,
It's
that's
like,
the new model.
It's like, no, it's actually, this is the person's name is, right? Their last name is Bowser and their first name is Doug. I just think that's pretty amazing.
I think he should legally change his first name as well. But anyway,
King Koopa Bowser.
who?
So, never mind. I'm not going to explain it. Read a book.
Read a book. It's sure to
Right,
talk
right.
about King Koopa in the book. You know, all
Anyway,
those
go
books.
ahead, Roy.
Yeah, I just think
Well,
that's interesting
Stargate
that there's
these
someone
days.
named Bowser. I don't know. Well, I see him here. He's a ordinary-looking man. I don't know anything about. I've never heard of this guy. Does anyone know who this is?
He's just a generic white guy, I thought.
Doug BOWSER?
Yeah.
Well, I think he got a start when he managed to take over control of the Koopas and the Goombas, and then he looked at Princess Peach.
There's a theory that I've shared with a friend of mine that there's like 3 guys, right? And if you took all those guys and you just had a couple sliders, like on a character creator, you could probably make almost all other guys. And Doug BOWSER is one of those guys.
I've had this theory for a while. There's really only like 10 different shapes of faces.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everybody's just, subtly different.
Yeah, some slight modification
Same
of some
basic
other thing.
face.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few real tangy face shapes, but
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
every
well,
now and
those are
again you get a
just
Casey
readers.
Neistat that's pretty difficult to replicate. But, like, for the most part, it's...
Rory,
Those are Bethesda faces. We don't
Rory,
count those.
who was the dude from who was in Arrested Development? Was it Daniel Cross? Was his name?
Dave.
Yeah.
David. So Doug BOWSER looks like if David Cross had sex with the dude who runs Amazon, and they had a child.
Oh, Jeff Bezos? You mean Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos? Yeah, I
Yeah.
could totally see that. Yeah.
It'd be David Bezos.
Damn, yeah. It's fan theory. Yeah, no, that's a really good description, actually. Damn, I'm like, I decided to
He's
bring
one
up
of
some
the only
pictures to remind
people
myself.
on. He's one of the only people on the planet that could afford to make a clone between him and
Yeah, that's true.
him and
Get
David
on
Cross.
it. Get on it, man. So yeah, this is just interesting news, just because it's kind of like when the Sony guy retired, right? Like it's gonna change conferences, the look and feel, because
That was
Reggie,
Kevin Bacon, right?
like Reggie had his own thing, right? Like his own way of expressing himself. Like the new guy's not gonna be like him.
No, and I think a lot of Nintendo fans are. Well, I mean, they named 4 Pokemon after Reggie, for Christ's sake. But I mean, like, because I mean, he became as much a part of the Nintendo brand as any of the Japanese developers did.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
fact, not even more so. He just became so iconic to the Nintendo brand. Like, because they featured him. It wasn't like, oh, he's just the head of Nintendo in America. We'll have him on for the occasional press conference, whatever. He was in every major press conference that Nintendo ever did, really. I think even in just the purely Japanese ones, he would appear and give like talks and stuff to just purely Japanese audiences. Like he was a pretty public face of that company. So the fact that he's retiring is kind of an end of an era for Nintendo. Really, it was up there with oh my god, what's his name? When the former CEO of Nintendo died, I forget his name. Iwata? Was it Iwata who died?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so like with him passing, it's just another one of the old guard that seems to be leaving.
Agreed.
I wonder how Nintendo's gonna fare with a lot of these old guards leaving, or for one reason or another. I wonder if they're going to continue with the same kind of policies and practices, or if they're going to fall into the same traps that a lot of the Western developers have fallen into, which is basically just dicking about.
I kind of hope they keep doing the thing they've been doing, to be honest.
Yes, because again,
I'm not
they don't
hugely
seem to hold their
invested in
audience
Nintendo, but like, I mean, I own Nintendo products, and like the Nintendo products I own are good, and they don't give me the impression that they're constantly trying to take money out of my wallet, and that's nice.
Yeah.
So and
They don't do games as a service. They do games as a fucking. We're redoing this one again. Buy it, please.
Well, I think Nintendo almost goes too far the other direction, and I don't know if I prefer one or the other, but where EA and Activision just see their intellectual properties as fucking gold mines to be stripped as quickly as possible, before, until all public goodwill is lost. Nintendo treats their properties with such a reverence that it's almost impossible to get any kind of fucking innovation out of them. It's very rare to get something truly new out of Nintendo. I mean, I would argue that before Odyssey, the last truly unique Mario game that we got was Super Mario Galaxy, which came out in 2007. So that was like what, 10 years afterwards. It took 10 years for Nintendo to develop a completely new Mario game. And I know people are going to say, like, oh, we got new Super Mario Bros. U, but that's just a retread of Super Mario Bros. 1 and 3. It's not, like, Mario Galaxy was a continuation of the trends that we were seeing from Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine and stuff. I consider Odyssey a spiritual successor to Galaxy more than I see New Super Mario Bros. U or whatever as a spiritual successor to Galaxy. I think it's almost to their detriment because, I mean, especially with the end life of the Wii, and especially with the Wii U, Nintendo didn't have any good games out. There was no reason to buy a Wii U because there really wasn't that very many good games out for it. But I mean, since the Switch has launched, there's been at least 2 or 3 really good big profile games that have come out for it. And plus, they've actually been working with third-party developers to develop all their titles and bring them onto the Switch. I mean, I'm sure Skyrim sold very well for the Switch.
It did, actually. And I'd like to give Nintendo some credit, actually, as far as what they did with Bayonetta, because they saved the franchise from certain death after the first one, because no one else was going to fund another Bayonetta game. And when they released Bayonetta 2 came out for the Wii U, but they re-released it for the Switch, which was already a good move. But additionally, they re-released it with Bayonetta 1. So if you buy Bayonetta 2 on the Switch, you get Bayonetta 1, so that Switch fans don't have to just start with the second game and then not be able to keep up with what's going on in it. So that was a nice... I'm not sure if that's more credit to Platinum Games or if that's more credit to Nintendo, but either way.
They did it good.
Yeah, they did it good. Hey, you guys like Steam?
Yeah.
Me too. You guys
I prefer it when it's water.
Do you do you watch a lot of movies on Steam, guys?
No. Do they have movies?
No, they don't, Adam.
My favorite is Beach
me?
Volleyball Detectives Part 1.
Because they had movies and now they don't. So if you're asking me if they have movies, they don't. But if you asked me last week, they would. Or maybe they currently do and are removing them.
I like Mad Mike Thundercomb.
Oh, gee, it took me way longer than I'd like to admit to realize what you were referencing.
My favorite thing about that is that Aaron said that joke, and I don't think any of us, except for Rory, was the first one to get it. But I think even if we did anybody else get that, I don't know what he's talking about.
It's Mad Max Thunderdome.
Oh,
Yeah. Because Mad Max was one of the films on Steam, was it not?
Yes.
But
as well as a bunch of other movies nobody has ever heard of. So the joke there was that there was a Mad Max ripoff. Anyway.
Nothing takes the fun out of a joke than having to explain it. And I know because I'm very good friends with Rory, and Rory's always explaining my jokes and ruining them.
I actually just found out, so I was looking at Steam to see some of the movies here, and I actually just found out that they released SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy, which is the creepiest game ever made on Steam.
What?
So we've got some creepy.
Postal the movie.
Do they mean heroin, like as in like a female
finest.
hero, or heroin?
They mean as in this,
drug?
Adam. This Steam link I just
Oh
posted.
no.
Yeah. So it's all the SNK. Like, you guys ever play King of Fighters or anything like that?
No.
Like,
Oh,
Adam
it is
probably
King of
has.
Fighters. I played it
it's
way
the-
back in the day.
It's the SNK characters, right? So from like King of Fighters games, except some of them, I think the ones that were male were made female for the sake of this game. Like, genuinely, I really do think that they changed
Hang on
some
a
characters.
second,
made
that
it-
doesn't sound right.
Insert.
I had
we all had. No, I'm not even gonna say that joke.
So you can pick this game up for
What's that noise? What am I hearing?
your Adam's cracking his fingers.
Oh.
So you can pick this game up for $48. It's 15% off, and it just came out. So what does that tell you?
Steal.
So yeah,
Is that
Steam removing
Crackdown
video
3?
content. No one's surprised. No, I'm surprised because I was saying to you guys today when we were talking about this. I thought it was weird that Steam had video content. Now I think it's even weirder that they don't now, because I think it's weird that they decided to take it off, because you don't just decide to remove something for no reason,
Yeah.
right? Like, I think probably, like, because there's anime on Steam, right? So it's probably Crunchyroll and Funimation and stuff like that buying up distribution rights. That's my guess,
It might
which they
be.
should do, because, like, why would, like, it's better if the anime fans can watch anime on, on their anime services than if they have to,
Yeah.
pop on over here to Steam, to watch it, I think, in my opinion.
See, I was kind of hoping that because with like video content, I mean, we have Netflix and things, and for shows and a lot of that stuff. It's good, but in terms of like actual ownership, there's a lot of great subscription services. But if you want to own a bunch of movies and like have a digital platform to play it, like kind of, Steam's DRM, but it would be more convenient to own a movie on Steam than to have to deal with a lot of the other video players that exist and all the ads and all the different services and bullshit. So I was kind of hoping that Steam would take off in that regard, so I could, buy movies that I actually want to watch.
The reason it didn't take off though is because of streaming services. Like if Netflix and Prime wasn't a thing, I really do think Steam would have been a decent marketplace for movies, but nobody buys movies anymore.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's true, and certainly not at the prices that they're at.
No.
Like, you want to buy? Do you want to buy the Road Warrior for $15? Like, Road Warrior is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm not buying it for $15. Get out of here. Yeah,
I mean, like what's a reasonable price for a new film? You look at.
I would say for like the road, like any film that's kind of over like 2 years old or 3 years old, I would say that like under $10 is reasonable, because you can just go to like a bargain bin at like a Best Buy or a Walmart or something, and there's probably going to be a copy of it in there.
Not only can you do it, you can hardly get away from them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They're everywhere. That's
why Steam would be great for it, because you'd be able to get all those movies for super cheap. Like, I don't want to go... Number one, I don't want to buy physical copies of movies because they take up too much space.
Yeah.
And even now, Blu-ray players need to be connected to the internet in some form so they can fuck around with the ads. Like, just give me the video file and let me watch it. Fuck off with ads.
Not really getting these for cheap.
Yeah, that's the
thing.
I agree with you, Aaron. In principle, like if Steam were to do it, you would sort of think it would be good. But I just don't think Steam did a very good job. They also did a trash job promoting it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I completely forgot Steam had videos for a while there until Fury Road came out for it, whenever that came out.
Exactly. Great movie. Like Mad Max is cool.
But it just, I don't know. I would like that sort of platform where you could get stuff for cheap. But I mean, I guess it's a lot of it's just a market that exists now. The way DRM exists for films is completely garbage when you even compared to video games, which isn't great. And then advertising and the way physical content works and digital distribution is all terrible. So something like Steam would be a great platform for it, but I guess because just straight up film costs, what would you pay for a brand new film? Star Wars
$4.
Episode 9 now available digital distribution. What are you paying for that?
$4.
Right? And that's not going to happen because these movies come out on Blu-ray and they're $40.
I'd be willing to pay.
It's ridiculous.
I'd be willing to pay $20 for a film if I get to keep it permanently. If they're like, this file is yours, we can't take this off your computer or whatever, then that's fine. I would be willing to pay $20 or anything under that, except for $5. I wouldn't be willing. So
how much is Fury Road still on Steam? Can we check and see how much that is?
It is. Yeah, I'll check for you right now. So Fury Road is $25 Canadian.
And it's been out for a couple of years. So I don't know. It's a bit much.
Yeah. You can buy a bundle. Here's what's funny: you can buy a bundle with the game for $49, which is a steal because you get a badass game.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
A good movie though. Judas Goat is only $2.19.
Damn.
I will say, in the defense of buying physical media, I do like the idea of continuing to buy Blu-rays and old DVDs and stuff, just to have them, because I'm very I like Netflix as a convenience thing. I'm I'll check Netflix to see what's on because I'm bored and I want to see what I can watch. But never have I gone to Netflix, or not very often have I gone to Netflix being oh man, I want to watch. I don't know, Little Big Trouble in Little China. Let's, I remember they used to have that on there. Let's boot that up, and then they'll never have it. So I'm a fan of physical media, just so I can, if I then go home, I can then boot up Big Trouble in Little China and watch it, and not have to worry about So I like it that way.
I would
where
just torrent it in that case.
or torrent it or whatever, but just owning the movie in some way and not having it on some sort of subscription service where they can just remove it whenever they want, you know?
Yeah, I don't like that. I feel like once it gets added to a subscription service, then it should be there permanently. Like, that should just be part of the copyright deal with whoever's distributing it. It's now on this platform. It's there forever. You've added it to a list or something. You can watch it whenever you want.
If it's there permanently, you can't come back to the streaming service after and gouge them for more money. That's
well, I mean,
that's why it's
I know the reality of it. I'm just saying, to really combat what Adam is getting at, like. At some point in the future, you're not going to have a DVD player, and all those videos are now useless.
But what I'm saying is, I don't know if it's always so much an issue of copyright law, so much as an issue of the person distributing it owning the leverage on copyright law. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand distribution at all. Like, I get the concept of it, but it makes no sense from a consumer standpoint.
Yeah, my understanding of it is also a bit rocky.
But. I don't know. Subscription services are great for that because they constantly refresh with new things and random crap you'd probably never even heard of or would never bother looking into or definitely not buying to go home and watch. But just to the fact that nothing is permanent. Like, I was in the middle of watching Buffy when that got removed. And it's like, I have it all on DVD.
Yeah.
I got it all on DVD, but I haven't continued watching it because just the convenience of Netflix,
Removing Buffy was a terrible idea, in my opinion. Yeah. That's such a great show for there's a car alarm going off. Oh God, I hate my neighborhood. Let me tell you something. I may hate my neighborhood, but something. You know what I don't? You know what I don't hate? You know what I love? I love Red Dead Redemption. I love online games, and I love Tuesdays. And this Tuesday, Red Dead Redemption Online is getting an update.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Rory. You brought life back into my heart. My cold, dead heart. You just woke it back up.
So is a new bounty system, there's new weapons, there's new clothing, there's new modes, and there's a proximity. What is a proximity indicator?
It means when you're close, it indicates it.
Good.
Exactly that.
What do you mean when you're close? Like in the game, there's no current radar or something?
Yes. Currently in the game, everybody in the server is visible from the minimap. What they're doing with this update is making it so that only people within 150 meters can see you.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Which is a nice step towards anti-griefing.
Yeah,
I think because
I believe
if you were off hunting by yourself, you would often find a lot of people making a beeline towards you because they know exactly what you're doing. But now that they can't see that you're over there doing stuff on your own, they don't know that they can go over there to fuck with you.
Is this only for strangers, or is this for friends too?
I'm not sure. I would imagine that people in your posse will show up permanently. I believe this is just for random players.
So yeah, it would be good if it was like you could add someone to your party and then they show up on your radar. That's the way WoW does it, and I think that's appropriate.
Yeah. I imagine that's how that will work. There's also a new bounty system to sort of deter griefing to begin with. Just get out. No, was that Adam? Were you going to say something?
You keep going. I'll wait till the end.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it sounds like what it is. It's probably more similar to the way single player works in that you start shooting at people, NPCs, or other players. Other players incur a bigger bounty than NPCs. But then eventually, if you get a big enough bounty hunters, NPC bounty hunters, will come after you, and they'll just get... It's basically like a wanted system in that case, where you'll just get more and more people coming after you until it's like so annoying that you'll fuck off with it, I guess, or you won't be able to continue griefing because you're constantly being hounded by bounty hunters. And you'll also be able to be killed by other players as well, and that bounty can be taken. So that's nice. And then, yeah, like Roy said, new weapons, a couple new guns, bunch of new clothes, and a couple new game modes and things.
Okay.
But no mention on the story content yet. So
any ponchos?
I don't know. They just said they were adding a lot of new clothes, so hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm glad, they're still support. Obviously, they're still support. It's one of the most successful games of last year. And it'll probably still end up being one of the most successful games of this year based on its late release date. Like it'll probably still sell mass
Probably.
amounts of copies. Rockstar's good at that. There's no doubt about that. I was thinking, me and Aaron often sort of like refer back to the nostalgia of Midnight Club, and I was watching some Midnight Club gameplay the other day. I was like, damn, like, and even that game was pretty popular for what it was, which is an arcadey racer, which is they're not very much in vogue anymore, but they were popular at one point in time.
You just used the term in vogue.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, yeah.
No, you used it correctly. I just wanted to make sure because I've never heard you use that term.
Oh,
before.
okay, yeah.
That'd be like me saying, "Man, that new Nintendo game is very chic."
Right, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's actually a good example because I've also never heard you use that word.
Hey,
let's
Rory.
see. Yeah, what's up?
You know
Very
what I
couture.
really hate
What?
more than anything else on this earth?
Yeah.
It's being corrected. Do you want to introduce the next topic?
Yeah, sure.
Here?
Okay,
I just hope I'm having I continue to have a great night.
So last week
Mitsubishi Evo.
I had a it was interesting to see that someone you guys brought up Evo Japan, and Adam and Aaron tried to shut it down. They were like, Rory put this on, he can talk about it next week, and I hadn't put it on at all. Of course, I didn't touch the topic list. Andrew put it on. And
Anyway, Ubisoft is doing something.
he talked about how at Evo Japan they cut off the stream because they were playing an inappropriate Dead or Alive video. And Aaron and Adam and no doubt countless people on the internet were super confused. Like, how did they not know about Dead or Alive and how I don't know, what do you even say? Like, how sexual it is, right? Like, to be blunt about it. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's because, Andrew, I don't think you quite like articulated why the stream was actually shut down, because it wasn't really because of the game.
No, it was because of the gameplay footage they were showing, right? They showed...
It's not even quite that. So
they went into free cam and they positioned the camera so it looked like one guy was doing another guy or girl.
So while that's true, that's sort of the lesser of the two things that were happening. There were two female presenters of the game that were discussing it. They were wearing what we'll describe as minimal clothing, and they were positioning themselves in... I hesitate to describe what I saw as sexual, because I think it's far too sort of contrived to be considered sexual. But it also in sexually suggestive ways for an entire 30 minutes or something. So it's not just the game, it was the way they were presenting it, and that's why the Evo people didn't know, is because while they were prepared probably for the gameplay footage, they were not prepared for the gameplay presenters. Add to that Evo Japan is an incredibly poorly run event. Like Evo in America, like
Isn't
Evo
Japan
Vegas,
the biggest market for fucking fighting games?
Yeah,
though?
it's huge. Oh yeah, unbelievably successful. But the people there, the people who run Evo Vegas, it's a very I know a good bit about the history of it. It's a very successful event. They really know how to run a good event and a good stream. The people in Evo Japan, the Japanese people play great video games. They're great at fighting games. They obviously make most of the fighting games. But the people running this event just can't run a proper event. And if you need some evidence of that, they didn't even put a lot of the big games that were happening on stream. So there's so many games happening in these tournaments that you can only put certain matches on stream. So you put matches from the biggest names, right? That's how you solve that, right? The matches everyone wants to see. And there were so many huge matches that people were really hype and excited about that never saw the light of day. And I was on today on YouTube watching cell phone footage of them. There's some of the best players in the world playing, and I'm watching cell phone footage, and it's
What is
2019.
this, E3 2006?
Exactly, yeah, right. It's precisely. This is so old school. But I just wanted to mention that just to clarify a couple things. You know what?
Yeah, fair enough.
But still,
we were
I think that kind of that doesn't really. I mean, obviously, that does discredit what we were saying about why they took it off. But I think the broader conversation that we had about the media's seeming acceptance of ultra violence, but the seeming rejection of any kind of sexualized content, as a fairly fair criticism of of that and how kind of stupid that whole situation is. Men pulling other men's spines out through their mouths is fine, but showing a woman's nipple, that's crossing a line. You know?
No, I understand. And I think I sympathize with that a great deal.
Yeah, fucking squirt all over
It
the
is
land.
Japan, which is incredibly sexually repressed.
But also
well.
incredibly, what depends on what your perspective is, of course, because there's also a lot of ways in which Japan is very sexually liberal.
Yes,
fucking
that's true as well.
It's a bizarre situation.
It's the most
that way.
confusing country on the
Yeah,
planet.
and this was
is
more.
what it is.
Yeah, they got clam chowder Doritos, but no fucking acorn dicks in your video game.
This is but and also part of it as well is that I think this wasn't so much it was like backlash by sponsors. It was like it was perceived backlash, right? And that's what will often cause changes. It's not even because someone did something and people complained. It's because someone did something and they were worried about people complaining. And that's
what the fuck did Aaron say?
Huh?
You said I didn't hear exactly what he said. All I heard was acorn dick.
You heard what I said.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't believe we didn't talk about this earlier because it fit so well in a topic we were talking about earlier. But earlier I was talking about Platinum Games and Nintendo. Platinum Games, in my opinion, one of the best game developers in the world. And they were going to make a game that, honestly, I was a little unsure about because I didn't like the look of it, but I love the developer. And the game was called Scalebound, and it got canceled.
Yep,
But
I was really looking forward to that game. Like, genuinely, I thought that was going to be an amazing game.
I mean, I love Platinum Games. I really do. I will say, like, the aesthetic of that game really did not hit home with me, personally.
I didn't like the design of the main guy, but I thought the dragon and all the enemies were really cool.
I agree.
Yeah, the dragon was really cool.
Dragon was really cool. Well, don't worry, because
voice acting
the game
was awful and the dubstep was dumb.
Just like with Bayonetta, Nintendo saved it. So Nintendo's gonna throw down some cash, and they're gonna make a Scalebound game. And you know what? I'm gonna buy it.
Damn it, Reggie.
You own a Switch?
Yeah?
Oh. I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
It's just silence. Yeah, no, I own a Switch, yeah. And this will be, I'm excited to play a Platinum Games game on it. That isn't Bayonetta 2, because I haven't been able to find Bayonetta 2. It's driving me insane.
Adam will be able to borrow your Switch
and play Scalebound.
I hope to have a Switch someday, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. It's nice. It has utility. That's what I like about it.
Adam dreams real big.
That's my biggest thing about consoles these days is I don't think there's enough utility. But there are legitimate use cases in which I think a Nintendo Switch can be used, and that's one of the reasons I own one. So yeah, I'm excited about this.
I mean, yeah, if they give it the Bayonetta treatment, I think that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
I think because the reason I was looking forward to Scalebound it seemed to be filling a niche that I didn't really know I needed to have filled, but one that I wanted to have filled, which was a game where I get to kind of like pal around with a giant dragon and just beat the shit out of other massive enemies, and like more than you would in say like an Ark game or like other games or kind of like open world survival games where you can kind of like, I don't know, tame giant monsters, but not really. That's not what I'm looking for because it's not to the same because the presentation just isn't there.
Whilst Skrillex violates your ear holes.
Yeah. Focus on the Skrillex, Aaron.
Rory might know this. What's the series that I guess preceded Nier?
That was Drake.
Drakengard. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the one that Yoko Taro made before he started
literally the
working on
most
Nier.
complex, convoluted plot outside of a Kingdom Hearts.
But you get dragons and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not what I'm looking for because it's more. It's not. Fully,
Are you talking about Drakengard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were talking about that or Nier.
It's not quite.
Well, they're kind of one and the same, aren't they?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Nier
they're
is kind of a
spin-offs.
split off from
They're
one random ending.
They are spin-offs, but you can if you
Drakengard
play like the Nier, like you could play Nier Automata and not feel like you're missing anything. You don't even have to play the first Nier.
Yeah,
game, right?
but it's because it's a very obscure kind of it's ending E of the first Drakengard game is what eventually leads into the first Nier game. Again, very random.
Honest, I mean,
Platinum
you're
Games,
probably,
man.
You're probably playing Nier because you saw a bunch of Source Filmmaker gifs on Pornhub.
Platinum Games is they're just terrific, and they've done nothing, in my experience, sort of nothing but the sort of best, most passionate of work. Even sort of less popular things or things that people were a little iffy on, like Revengeance, I think turned out to be really good, even if they're sort of less than faithful to the.
Didn't they make that Transformers game?
Which one?
They made a Transformers game, but I never played it, so I don't know if it was good or bad. Devastation.
I'm pretty sure it's
Adam?
universally reviled.
It might be.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
I
haven't
might.
heard
I
much.
might be about to eat
Which
my
game
words
are you
here.
talking about?
Devastation.
I played a little bit of it, and it was okay. I know it has its fans, but
Okay,
it's not
yeah.
like it wasn't War for Cybertron or the even better Fall Cybertron. So
Which one was the one you guys did a series in?
Fall Cybertron.
Okay, good. So
The
you did
best
it in
one.
the best one possible.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, this will be interesting. I hope they do. Yeah, I hope they do. I like what Andrew said. I hope they give it the Bayonetta treatment. You guys like
Hey, Aaron.
Ubisoft?
Oh.
You like Ubisoft?
I know Aaron does.
Aaron definitely likes Ubisoft. Aaron's been playing a ton of Ubisoft
I don't know if I
games.
like Ubisoft, but I like
the games
some
they
of the,
make.
Some of the games they've been
Yeah.
pumping out recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Yves Guillemot over at your house for supper the other night?
Oh yeah,
You're
but
like-
he's still an asshole. That's all.
You served him cheese and wine, and he was like, "This is not fresh."
Oh man, Eve, that you? Oh, you got me.
Was he also dying?
Yeah,
The
he's really old. The camera makes him look younger because of all the makeup, but he's like 170 years
He's
old.
like some sort of lich.
so you like
He's
you like
one of them pieces of
Ubisoft?
Eden to keep him alive.
You like Ubisoft? Do you like Singapore? How do you feel about Singapore?
They hold a pretty good Grand Prix. Yeah, why not?
Right on. Well, Ubisoft Singapore is
shit.
going to be making a Skull and Bones series. I'm confused a bit by the wording of this
Series.
topic. Who put this on here? Andrew, what did you mean by a Skull and Bones series?
I meant a television show.
Oh,
So Skull and Bones is the new pirate ship game that
Yeah, I knew
Ubisoft
that.
is making.
Yeah.
I thought that
They're
that
making a
has
television
story.
show?
Isn't that the one
Yeah.
published by Microsoft?
No. No?
Shit.
Oh, I'm
No.
thinking Sea of Thieves.
Yep, Sea of Thieves.
I
That's
thought,
right.
I thought Skull and Bones was like a team deathmatch boat game.
Yes.
Is that,
Yeah, there
how
is,
does
but
that-
apparently there's a TV show now.
it has this. So is it like fucking American Gladiators or what is this?
We're excited
No,
to
it's like
announce
probably
that
a
the
fictional
talented
TV show
teams at
that's probably
Ubisoft
loosely
Film
related
and
to the
Television
idea-
and Atlas Entertainment have started working on a Skull and Bones TV series.
Isn't Ubisoft?
It's very early in development, but it's shaping up to be awesome.
Isn't
Why
the
was it- what do you
Ubisoft
mean it's
TV
shaping
and
up to be awesome? Who
television
said that?
Studio, the same guys who butchered Assassin's Creed in the movie.
The
Michael
movie was
Fassbender.
okay.
I have a question. Andrew just read me a quote that said, "It's shaping up to be awesome." Andrew, where did you read that?
On a report
Why
about
would
the show.
Why would someone?
I'm trying to
but
see
is
the
it
guy who
are you
said
reading a company line, or are you reading something like
Yeah,
a journalist?
this is from
said?
the studio. This is something the studio
geez.
said on
I
Twitter.
thought you meant it was a report. Someone was reporting on it, and they were already saying it's shaping up to be awesome. I was like, man, they paid for that.
No,
okay.
Apparently,
Don't
the
worry, Roy,
studio
they
is
didn't.
billing it as a female-driven drama set at the end of the golden age of piracy in the 1700s.
So
I'll watch this.
It'll be coming out alongside the Division movie and the Secret Worlds TV series, apparently.
And
I
they're
don't know if
really
the Secret World has to do anything, but the Division is getting a movie as well.
they're really
Yeah,
shooting in for this television film market.
I know about the Division movie. It's got Jessica
too.
Chastain and Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
That's right.
And the guy who directed Deadpool 2 is directing it. So it might not be awful, but Skull and Bones I mean I guess it has a story. I didn't know that. I assumed it was just like
It
mean, it
might
might
just be
not.
set in the 1700s during the age of piracy.
I mean, remember Pirates of the Caribbean? That didn't have a story when they made a movie of that. It was a theme park ride, right? And
enough.
they just add in a story, right? Kind of. It's
Yeah, but,
I'm being
you know,
charitable with the.
generally when you make like a series or a movie based on a game, there's like a narrative that you're pulling from. But in this case, it's just like they're just using the setting and everything else is entirely made up.
Well, I'm sure Skull and Bones has a story.
Maybe.
It might be bare bones. It might be Skull and Bones, but it
Oh,
has a
oh,
story.
Yeah, I don't know. I assumed it was just like a deathmatch game. Pick your boat and put shit on it, and then loot box the fuck out of it, and then there you go, Skull and Bones. And
That sounds like also what I thought it was.
That sounds like an Ubisoft game.
yeah.
Oh,
Except
To me, there will always
not with a
just
story.
there will only be one pirate show in my heart, and that's Black Flag.
Black Sails.
Black Sails.
Black Sails.
I think you should all watch it.
I've heard that that's actually quite
Never
good.
heard of it.
It's amazing.
Never heard
it's
of
incredible.
it. It's like Andrew's
a great
favorite
show.
show. The
No, I've never heard of it. If I did, I forgot it.
Andrew, you own a PS Vita.
I do.
Well, good,
I play it
'cause
every day.
If you want to get another one, go ahead, but don't go to Japan to get it.
Andrew, you can lie to me. You can lie to yourself, but don't lie to the Vita.
And Thomas, don't lie to Thomas.
I'm pretty sure I haven't turned it on since the year came out.
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you might be about to correct me because I might be wrong. Does the PS Vita? No, it doesn't. Does it? The PS Vita? Oh no, it does use the XMB, right?
Can you just ask the question and I'll let you know?
Does it use? It uses the old PlayStation 3 XMB, right?
Yeah.
Good.
No.
Okay. See, this is
No.
why I didn't just
The
ask
Vita
the
has
question.
its
'Cause you
own-
clearly don't
the
know.
Vita- The Vita has its own UI.
Oh, I was hoping. I always thought that used the XMB because that's my favorite menu ever on a console by far.
No, you're thinking of the PSP does.
Oh, you're right. It does.
But the Vita is touchscreen and it uses a bubble UI.
So is the
Oh,
is
you're right. I'm
the-
looking at a picture of it right now.
Is the XMB not the same on PS4, Rory?
No, not at all. No, completely different. The PS4
Is it really though?
yeah, it's absolutely different. The dynamic menu
Is
is yeah. Okay, Aaron, you can't keep asking. It's different. And I've actually been sort of spending a bit of time recently reading forums where people are arguing about which one they like better. But I've always liked the XMB's organization rather than the multi-layered dynamic menu the PS4 has. Like it's just like it's a more intuitive. It's more like the way I think. Because it's more like a computer folder structure, right? And less like a tablet. And
Yeah, the PS3 sucked.
the PS3 was god tier.
All right, well, we're not going to agree on this.
Yeah, if we're talking
Anyway.
about if we're talking about the worst gods like Hephaestus.
Don't worry, Rory. I really like the PS3 as well.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Hephaestus. I actually really like Hephaestus.
I would like to say that
I wouldn't compare Hephaestus to the PS3.
You're
I would
right,
like to
Andrew.
say that
Range
you would like
from
to say.
Prey.
I would like to say
yeah. Say
that
it.
the Vita is great.
Have you
I've heard nothing
ever-
but good things about the Vita, actually.
Have you ever played your PS4 with it?
I want to say yes, but I can't remember if I have actually done
Because
it.
that was one of the only enticing things about the Vita for me.
Really?
It was, yeah.
For me,
that
it
you
was Metal
could,
Gear. Metal Gear 2 and 3 in HD on the go. It was great.
I'm confused, Aaron. What do you mean playing the?
You could stream your PS4 to your PS Vita.
But you can stream your PS4 to your computer.
No, but you don't get what I'm saying, Roy. Is that you could play your PS Vita on a handheld. Yeah, you could play your PlayStation 4 on a handheld.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, I play my PlayStation 4 on my laptop sometimes. So to me, like I don't really go anywhere, you know. So like to me, it's like that's the convenience I'm looking for. Is like to be able.
Yeah,
to
but
sit in my
I don't
bed.
mean like Steam Link HDMI shit to your thing. It's just like
Yeah,
you
I know.
could just play it
You
on a
mean
handheld.
over
Yeah,
the internet.
over Wi-Fi or whatever.
Yeah, you can do that with your computer, like my laptop. I can.
Yeah, but anyway, Roy.
I'm confused. Andrew, what am I missing?
Can you go to Starbucks and play your PS4, which is at home on your laptop?
Oh, okay. You mean that? You mean remote? Like
Yeah.
you don't mean streaming just in?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. That's a great feature. Why didn't I know about that?
Well, that was a feature in the original Vita commercial. I don't know if it ever became an actual feature.
I believe it is because I see every now and then on the Elite subreddit that people are playing Elite on their PS
That's
Vita.
a great idea. Why don't I own one of these?
Yeah, exactly, Roy.
Well,
See?
now I'm
Better get
upset.
busy, Rory.
Well, if I'm ever in Japan, I guess I won't be buying one because they're ending production in Japan. The oh well.
I'm sure they made a zillion of them. Just buy one.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just pick one. I'm gonna
get
look
one
right
on
now, see if I can
Amazon
find
for
one.
$17 or something.
Exactly what I'm looking for right now. Let's see what we got. Oh, I can get a whole bunch of skins for them. It can look like a real tool at Starbucks.
Hey, Adam. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know you only have two real loves on this earth. That is Call of Duty and loot boxes.
Yeah, definitely not dinosaurs. They're way in the background.
Or that giant squid, or
hey, fuck off about giant squids. They're cool.
Earlier.
Well, now you can. Now, when you're playing your favorite game of all time, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, you can buy loot boxes to your heart's content because they sneakily added them in. Yeah.
Well, thank God for that, because I don't know what I would have done had I not had access to that sort of...
prayers has been answered.
They got a campaign in one of those loot boxes?
I was looking at the new Call of Duty Black Ops. I was looking at the new Call of Duty Black Ops and was like, well, I'm glad they took out the story, which was the only thing I was really interested in. But if only there was a way that I could somehow give the game even more money and do better and be better at the game while doing so. Maybe if they were to put in some useless cosmetic items, that would be really cool to have. But you got to spend money on those, and it would really increase my enjoyment of the game if I could have them. If only there was a way. Oh, and I don't want to just get them, because that would be too easy. I want some sort of a challenge issued to myself beforehand, so I don't feel like I'm just giving them money. I want to be able to feel like I've achieved something here. Maybe like some sort of random lottery? No, that's stupid. That's too close to gambling. Think. What could I do? And then this happened, and I'm like, all of my prayers have been answered. Thank fuck. It's like the Roman republics have returned.
They've gone from offering things like circle reticles for $2 to now you can just buy a loot box and you might get a circle reticle with $2.
This is the only thing that I'm familiar with, loot boxes, I mean, that this is the only thing that I ever encountered that I don't judge case by case. I will judge microtransactions case by case, but loot boxes I won't. Only because I've never seen the value in not letting a customer know what they're buying. Personally. That's my own, personal take on this. And, I don't know. This isn't even the final nail in the coffin for Black Ops 4. This is like... That coffin was nailed shut on all ends years before it ever came out. This is like
they're running out of room for nails at this point.
This is like we were accidentally burying the Star Wars video games, and we misestimated, and now the tractor or whatever, the excavator is stuck in the Black Ops 4 grave. Like we tilted, or oh god, what a nightmare. Can this game stop any day now?
I think, I don't know how the loot boxes work in this. I think loot boxes are okay if a game has microtransactions and the loot boxes are sort of a free alternative to buying the things that are microtransactions.
Are loot boxes free?
I mean, in a lot of games, you can earn them in-game. So that's sort of what I'm getting at.
If they're just earn them in-game, as long as you can't buy the loot boxes, I'm cool.
Can you buy loot boxes, though? Like in The Division, can you pay money for the loot boxes?
Technically, yes. But if
so it's awful.
Can I say something that I think Aaron's going to want to hear?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Aaron, last week...
doing this?
Last week, 2 weeks ago, me and my friends saw that the Division Gold Edition was on sale for $20 on PS4. Mm-hmm. So we bought it, and we played it. And we've continued to play it. We're going to be playing it tomorrow. The Division, ignoring the economy, I totally understand why Aaron likes the Division.
Me too. It's a fun game.
The actual gameplay of it, I really like. Way more than I thought I was going to. Way more. But yeah, if it just had microtransactions, you buy some cosmetic items, whatever, it wouldn't rub me the wrong way, but the fact that you can buy something and not know what you're buying, that pretty much in all cases gets me.
Well, that's good.
It doesn't stop me from
Roy.
playing it. But
So how far are you in the game then? Let's say
I'm at like level 9 or something.
Okay,
So I'm
and
like,
has the microtransaction economy leaked into anything that you're doing it?
not once.
Like, has it has it popped up and you've gone like, oh, or have you gone looking for it?
I haven't seen it ever. Not once.
And you don't know where to find it.
I have no idea where to find it. I couldn't tell you where to find it if you asked.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. That's
if you're saying it's not intrusive, I agree with you. It's not intrusive.
It's not intrusive in the sense that you don't even know it's in the game until you've finished it.
I wouldn't have known if it was in the game if I didn't already know. I'm not going to say the fact that I already know doesn't bother me, because it does. But playing it, if I had just played it, I might have not ever found out.
Yeah. So to clarify the loot boxes in the game, and to totally derail all of this.
Yeah.
But there's a currency in the game that you can obviously buy, your Ubisoft or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
And you can use that currency to buy, I don't know, backpack skins or weapon skins or jackets or whatever, emotes. But you can also, I think you can anyway, I'm pretty sure you can, use that same currency to buy loot boxes. Now, so you don't explicitly have to buy the loot boxes to get stuff. You can just buy the thing you want directly.
It's still the fact that it could be done still gets me, I gotta say, and that might be.
It is strange.
I don't know if that's me being stubborn or not, but
I don't know. I think, I don't know, if you want to do it, sure, but I mean, it is definitely exploitative. But the fact that the loot boxes primarily are just earned through gameplay. Like right now, you guys are playing the game. You're earning encrypted caches, which are the loot boxes.
Right.
So by the time you finish the game and you get to the point where it's like, hey, there's microtransactions, you go, oh, okay, and you probably have 10 keys, so you can get 10 loot boxes. You know.
I will say, for me, I was surprised at how much the actual gameplay was fun for me.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So I thought that was worth noting, because for sort of many years, Aaron has enjoyed The Division, and so it's cool that I finally at least get to see what he's been playing this whole time.
That's pretty cool.
Do you guys know what I don't like?
What?
The Walking Dead.
You don't like The Walking Dead?
Nope. I don't like anything about it. There's not
you
a one
don't even
thing.
like the comics?
I haven't read the comics. I
like the Telltale game.
Telltale games are like selling a Telltale game to me. You're sort of already up shit's creek, because I don't like Telltale games.
Yeah, but this was like the first one, Roy. I mean, they did other ones before us, but this was like the definitive, everybody knows about Telltale now game.
That's true. I'm not a big so to me, we were talking about utility earlier and unique utility to things. To me, the branching factor in choice and dialogue is more impressive in a Fallout game that isn't Fallout 4 than it is in a Telltale game. And in the Fallout game, I can also do a bunch of other stuff. To me, it's like Telltale isn't offering anything that I don't get somewhere else. It's not like it's better storytelling and better choices. To me, it's kind of a middle-of-the-road storytelling and choice set of games.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like super mind-blowing or anything, but it's still, it's ultimately just telling you a story and you can interact with it. It's essentially what it is. It's just like an interactive movie in a way. You know,
maybe I should
be
thinking about it more that way than thinking about it as a video game.
Yeah, it's not fucking New Vegas by any stretch of the imagination, but it is still just an interactive narrative.
Right? Yeah, I see what you're getting.
It's a good story.
I mean, the story
because there's
bad,
some
that's true. Yeah.
Because there's some level of interaction there. I think it helps. It helps ground a lot of the scenarios, like, because there were your decisions. Yes, a lot of them are binary and ultimately don't matter, but because you made that decision, this character moment means so much more.
Yeah, there's a lot of weight to the decisions just by making you press the button to make the choice.
I could sign up for that. Maybe I don't fully appreciate that because I haven't experienced the stories in non-Telltale form, and so I couldn't maybe appreciate the improvement that it might be, and it might be a non-trivial improvement. But Overkill's The Walking Dead on what is this? I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, so something to bring up is that the Walking Dead Telltale series is very much based after the comic book series.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
In fact, the Michonne game that they made is Michonne from the comics, not the show.
Right.
Overkill's The Walking Dead is very much the show, the AMC television show.
Bad.
I like the first season.
I like the first 2 episodes. The
First
genuinely
episode's
like not trying to be. I'm not trying to be a dick. I honestly think I figured it out too quickly. As far as not like there was some big mystery in the show. I think I figured out the formula too quickly, and I took the romance out of it.
I think they nailed it with who's the guy that plays Rick, the main character, Andrew Lincoln. He's great.
He is great.
They
nailed the cat John Bernthal too.
Yeah,
John
they nailed
Bernthal's great,
Shane's character as well.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good. A lot of the rest of it didn't live up to what it should be, but
yeah, and I mean the fact of the matter is, I have a lot of problems with AMC as it is. To be honest, if you take Mad Men out of the AMC lineup, there's not a whole lot of things left that I enjoy, and that a lot of that is because of the really blunt, matter-of-fact, desaturated way that they tell stories. I'm just crying for a little more, dramaticism and stylistics than a lot of those stories have.
Yeah, well, Breaking Bad was pretty good, Roy, and so was Better Call Saul.
Those are two good shows.
I agree, but Breaking Bad also has that thing for me that I just can't. And I was one of the early supporters of it because I watched it as it was coming out, the first season, and I really liked it. But I never really. It never fully ended up hooking me, and the friends who I got into Breaking Bad ended up watching it for a much longer time than I did. I didn't go back to it to watch the rest until years later.
Party
actually.
pooper.
Yeah, no,
I feel like AMC shows are written specifically to get as many commercial breaks in there as possible. Because AMC is awful for this. AMC has the worst commercial breaks I've ever seen. I stopped watching the channel altogether.
Yeah.
Well, you don't watch a lot of network TV anymore, I'm guessing, then, because
no, not at all. But it's like you'll get a 10-minute commercial break, then 2 minutes of show.
Yeah.
Specifically written to get to another commercial break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
that's a whole season of The Walking Dead.
That's something that gets me about TV generally. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about something not being canceled. I'm not going to complain about fans getting what they want, ever. Right? This is strictly a good thing that this isn't canceled.
Oh, yeah. Overkill's The Walking Dead is not canceled.
That's good.
Everyone thought it was. There were reports that the console version of the game were canceled, but no more.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad it... What were the rumors based, talk to me, can you give me a bit about the story of this?
So the PC version came out, and everybody hated it because it was really bad.
Okay.
And then the console version was delayed. The Starbreeze Studios, the people that made it, they came out and said it was delayed indefinitely.
Starbreeze? Damn, that's not a name you hear very often anymore.
Well, no, they made Payday 2.
Yeah, I mean...
Did you become like a robot?
No, the name came to me as I started saying it.
Yeah, but I mean, what
it was like Paycheck? Nope.
No, Paycheck is the Ben Affleck film.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my relationship with Starbreeze is a little complicated because they've made some good games, but I I mean, Payday 2 is an unpolished mess. It sounds like Overkill's The Walking Dead was an unpolished mess. And I'm going to take back what I just said, that it's always a good thing when something doesn't get canceled. Because I don't think unpolished messes should be rewarded. That's why I didn't like PUBG's success, and that's why I now hate this. Any... I mean, feel free to... Anyone who wants to jump in and disagree with that can, but...
No one will disagree with you.
Rory's got a full old man.
I gotta pee real bad, like you wouldn't believe.
All right, don't worry.
So you can handle this next topic.
Oh, Adam's gonna handle this next topic.
Okay.
Adam,
I had
let me just
Black
hang
Ops
on,
lead into this
whoa.
when,
Let me just put down Jurassic World Evolution. All right, let's go.
I had the Black Ops topic lead into this one, and then somebody wedged that fucking Walking Dead.
Andrew. It was Andrew.
So transition ruined.
So Aaron wrote the topic, so I can't tell exactly what he means by the title. So Aaron, you handle this one with Adam.
Well, Apex Legends is taking over the world.
Damn right.
Adam's playing it all the time. It's great.
I hate
and
when
recently, oh, is that?
I said I hate when I'm proven wrong. God damn it.
So anyway, Adam's been playing this, and he loves the Wraith character. She's a favorite one. It reminds him of Jyn Erso, he said. Anyway, so he's been trying to get the there's a knife, I believe they call them. What do they call them in the game, Adam? They call them heirlooms. That's what they call heirlooms. Super rare items called heirlooms for these characters.
Okay.
And you can get them in loot boxes.
All right.
And the people who make Apex Legends, Respawn, have guaranteed that you will at least get the item you're looking for by the 500th loot box. So if you buy 500 of them, you're guaranteed to get all items.
That's good.
And so anyway, this Adam over here, this guy, decided that he wanted to get the knife heirloom for the Wraith. And so he went ahead and bought 500 loot boxes. And sure enough, on the 500th one, he got it.
On the 500th one.
On the 500th one, Adam got it.
Efficient,
yeah. So that's all he had to do is spend $500, and he got it. And now this free-to-play game, which costs 10 times more than every other game, you can use that stupid little knife thing for Jyn Erso in Apex Legends.
Okay.
So there you go, Adam. You got it.
That's good. I always knew that this day would come if I just worked hard, and how my faith has been rewarded.
Congratulations. Absolutely.
Na. So this guy, how much money is that? Did he spend?
500.
So I wasn't specifically Adam. Yes, it was $500. Apparently, there were 500 boxes. I don't know how many dollars get you a loot box.
Probably
maybe. Anyway, he went ahead and spent $500 on this, and suggests to everyone else to not do the same thing because it was a dumb idea.
Yeah, but it's very rare that you read a one-line sentence and everything in the sentence sucks. Everyone involved in this story that you just told me sucks. Right? The guy who spent $500 sucks. Respawn sucks, and Activision sucks. But sorry, not Activision. EA. Activision also sucks. Yes, but distinct. I confused Respawn with Infinity Ward, right? Because they were an offshoot, right? Because the guys who were at Infinity Ward making subpar broken games moved over to Respawn, made a good game, and then got themselves bought by EA and are now doing this.
They went from one evil to the other.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
Why they thought it'd be great. Hey, we can't work for Activision anymore. This is cancerous. We got to make our own studio and our own IP and forge our own path. It's like 2 days into working on Titanfall, like, hey Jim, we got an offer from EA for $100 quadrillion. Like, all right, sign them up. Let's do it.
And I don't like.
Fuck it.
I don't like how developers go blameless in these scenarios. And this isn't sort of one of the critical scenarios, but oftentimes one of the things I find is like developer release a subpar game, and because they did it under a publisher who's known to be scummy, and the game happens to be scummy in its publishing and economy, the publisher takes all the blame. I think we need to start hating more and more people. That's the kind of world
fuck
that I want to
everybody.
live in, and I'm prepared to start
Everybody's
doing that.
dog shit.
I hope that all the audience joins me in that initiative. God,
Yeah,
$500.
see, that's what
This is disgusting.
I'm kind of split on, like, I totally agree. I like the guys who make The Division. They've done a lot of good, like, in terms of communicating with the audience what the game is and all that kind of thing. And even more recently with The Division 2, they've pretty much explicitly come out with it. I don't know how they haven't gotten in trouble with. But in terms of, like, the drip feed of how information has been, how they're allowed to communicate, essentially, like this was referring to the pre-order versions and the specific editions of the game. They like came out and said they were not allowed to talk about like this very specific like minutia of each edition until a specific date, like in leading up to the game. And it's like, that's really fucking stupid that Ubisoft has these restrictions on what you're allowed to talk about in terms of something that is going to, like, somebody's going to spend money on this shit, and they're going to have questions about what's included in what they spent money on, and you're basically not allowed to tell them until after they've spent it. So like, it's a really fucking stupid system. And I mean, it becomes difficult to place the blame on them. I mean, yes, they are working with Ubisoft, and they are still essentially part of the same company. But when the person who's paying all of you says you can't do this, you're like, well, okay, I guess so. This is dumb, but all right. I feel like there should be more stink kicked up about that kind of nonsense because it's fucking stupid.
Adam.
Anyway, I guess good on them for saying it.
Do you like Dragon Ball?
I do. I really enjoyed that anime as a kid, and I still continue to watch it. Super's all right, but yeah, I enjoy.
You watch the movies and stuff like that? Have you kept up
yeah.
with the movies? Yeah.
You enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh and Naruto and
I like Yu-Gi-Oh.
shit.
I think Naruto is one of the worst things ever made by human hands.
You like One Piece,
Jet
Adam?
Force Gemini? Oh.
No, I also think One Piece is one of the worst things ever made by human hands.
You'll probably enjoy something like 3/8 of this new anime game that Bandai Namco has made called Jump Force.
Oh man, is that based off Shonen Jump?
Yes, it is.
Who?
It's the name of the magazine, Aaron.
So it's an exciting new game that apparently really sucks.
That's good.
Apparently not very good at all. It was pretty hyped. You'll remember there was a not insignificant trailer for it at the Xbox conference at E3 this past year.
Yes.
It was like a pretty like elaborate trailer. Like it was like a well animated trailer. It was well done. And it's characters from anime you like.
Sure was.
But also Fist of the North Star you like. And
hey, you dissing Fist of the North Star?
No, but I'm saying like it's like I mean I'm speaking
Rory,
about it as
dead.
In like in the sense of that you're probably, if you're a fan of Fist of the North Star, it's probably from the video games, not from the manga.
I had it on Game Boy. OG Game Boy.
There you go. It's also got Hunter x Hunter and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I don't know any of that.
Adam probably does.
Yeah. I haven't watched Hunter x Hunter, but I have watched a little bit of JoJo's.
Hunter x Hunter is damn long, so if you're gonna watch it, strap in because it's gonna take a long time.
I'm probably not gonna watch it, but there we go.
Oh man, this is funny. Aaron or Andrew, talk about this.
Fucking Raptors, come on.
Well,
yeah.
Well, yeah. The one remaining Fallout 76 fan. There's only one left. We got one guy left playing this game after all these updates. Everybody else has moved on. Other games come out. Even Anthem is taking some of these Fallout fans. And so there's one guy left, and Todd's keeping the servers on just for this guy. And anyway, they recently ran through his 900 hours of playtime that he's clocked up.
This is the dumbest shit.
And have decided that he has accumulated too much ammo. And not that they have any anti-cheat tools or any ways of actually confirming how this ammo was procured. They just, Todd and Pete decided he's got too much of it. Ban him. And so he's been banned, removed from the game, even though he's the only fan with 900 hours. And there you go.
God damn.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep. So there you go. Fallout 76 officially dead. No more Todd. No more ammo. And that's it.
It's ironic to me.
Very,
Go ahead,
very
Andrew.
concerned about the future of this company.
Well, yeah, because they're making fucking stupid decisions.
I mean, concerned only insofar as I'm, concerned about things I have no stake in really anymore. Like I sort of like I've kind of made my peace with it, is what I mean.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like I'm kind of like.
Don't make too many pieces, you'll get banned.
But that was a good joke from Aaron.
That was
Holy
terrific.
shit!
Bethesda's made some of the best games I've ever played. There's no doubt about that. But it's kind of like those games to me are so significant in the playtime I've had in my life and the playtime I will have in the future that they're kind of what I need from Bethesda. Like we've kind of, do you know what I'm saying? Like there's I can still go back and replay those. They're still amazing games, and it's like so many companies have made so much less than them in terms of hours that Bethesda has made. Bethesda's, outdone so many developers that I love. Also, I think it's very ironic that in a game that's entirely based off of people breaking rules in the apocalypse, people who actually do break rules in this fictional apocalypse are swiftly put under the rug.
Well, I mean, it's not even...
You don't even have to break the rules.
Yeah.
No,
so just some people are breaking the rules, and then they assume that you're breaking the rules. So, like, I love that about this. Like, there's so many games coming out with, like, strong anti-cheat and, like, Punk Buster and all that stuff, just, like, to make sure people aren't hacking the game. Well, it's older.
That's a throwback.
Anyway. Yeah, why not? Well, I mean, yeah, throwback. I mean, fucking, why can't Bethesda use 20-year-old shit? They already are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where's Fallout GameSpy?
Yeah.
Anyway,
they have their meetings in TeamSpeak.
It's just funny that they don't, like, there's no way for them to know who's doing what in these games. They just have to assume. It's
such a nightmare. I'm like I do. Stupid. But to answer Andrew's question honestly, like I do hope they do better, and I hope Elder Scrolls 6 is awesome because I'm gonna buy it. That's the fact. Like I've made my peace with their downfall, but it doesn't mean I don't want to continue on the great lore journey I had with the Elder Scrolls. I think more so what I did was I made my peace with Fallout, to be honest. And because to me the thing that I want out of Fallout, I might be getting that with Obsidian,
Yeah, fair enough.
Like that's.
I mean, I like Fallout 4, but yes,
I don't even know if I do. I was talking to my dad about this the other day, actually, and he's a huge fan of Fallout 3 in New Vegas, and he was saying that I got to a certain point in playing Fallout 4 where I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, what is the motivation anymore in the story? I don't feel like I'm being compelled to play.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the truest thing I've probably heard about the game since its release. I like a lot of things about it. I love the gunplay. I actually really like the look and the color scheme of the game. It's probably the best Fallout's ever been. I love the sound. The sounds are incredible. And I don't even mean just like the gun sounds and the reload sounds and all that and the monster sounds. I mean like the ambient walking through the world sounds, to me.
Yeah, totally.
Are a standout feature of the game. And obviously there's cool stuff like Far Harbor and all that. But Fallout might have ended for me, and it sounds like it's ended for Bethesda too. We'll see.
Pulled the trigger.
That breaks my heart.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and
my heart is now cold and dead again. Thanks, Rory.
The thing is, Andrew
you brought life to it, and then you took it away.
And Andrew is a bigger fan of Fallout than I am. I've always leaned more towards Elder Scrolls, and I think Andrew, you do lean slightly more towards Fallout. Am I right?
Yeah, I like all the magic and stuff and just the lore in general of Elder Scrolls, but I like the post-apocalypse.
Yeah,
I think that's my scene.
Well, looks like just thinking about Fallout has replaced Pepto-Bismol in terms of getting rid of heartburn.
Wait, what?
Talking about cold, hard burn. Anyway.
And
Overhead.
Aaron, I do want to say before we go, because we've exhausted the topics on this list, that you were talking about Anthem, and Anthem I just read got a 6.5 out of 10 from IGN.
That's not good.
The reviews are coming in now because, of course, the game comes out. Like, we're recording this on the 21st. I believe the game comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
And it doesn't.
That doesn't really bode well.
No, bad stuff.
Yeah, I like that. Like some people were able to play it last week if you either pre-ordered it or had the Origin Premier access.
And won the lottery on actually the servers actually working.
Well, yeah, that also. But even then, like, oh shit, I just smashed into a guardrail. There was a lot of people in the chat saying like, oh yeah, the game gets better in the end game. It's like,
why can't it be good now? I'm paying.
How'd you get to the end
good
game
now?
Yeah, it's been a week. You've already finished everything, and you're now saying that the end game is better. Like what?
Yeah.
Also,
so
like,
IGN
thought,
gave it a 6.5.
I think that's
GameSpot
right.
gave it a 6.
6. Yeah.
PC Gamer gave it a 55.
Great. Jesus. Like, can I also say, in the spirit of trashing developers, if this game's story and stuff is bad, it's BioWare's fault, not
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
not
absolutely.
EA's. And I've heard the story is bad. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Well, from what I know, it is,
judge.
yeah, because it's one of those games where it's like Destiny, where everything cool happened 20 years ago, and you get to watch cutscenes about it.
Yeah.
But I
Again-
wonder how limited they were in what they could do. To get to that mandated gameplay experience that they were given.
Well, yeah.
I feel that
Yeah,
I
that's
100%
ultimately what it is.
agree that like publishers can have these sort of in-depth effects that even play on your work as a developer. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you sort of put your name on something, you're kind of putting your endorsement on it. To me,
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Like,
Yep.
like
Oh, shit.
I don't know. It's hard for me to be kind of neutral about this.
sure,
'Cause-
you're a big fan of BioWare historically.
Yeah,
right?
and I want to say, I want to be like that person who's like, oh man, no, it's definitely EA's fault. Because I mean, and to be fair, that wouldn't be without merit because EA
I agree.
has
A
come out
history as a history.
yeah,
right?
of
Yeah.
kind of ruining shit. But I don't know. Like after watching of videos on how badly BioWare and not EA bungled Andromeda, and it was BioWare that mostly bungled Andromeda. I don't know. Like I think it could be 50-50 here. I don't
But
know.
it was a new team put together by EA. It wasn't BioWare proper.
Yes.
But Anthem was. Anthem was BioWare proper. Anthem was the people that made Mass Effect.
Yeah.
The original.
I don't know. I still think that anyway, I don't know. I'm worried that one of my favorite developers is next on the chopping block, because I mean, like
Yeah.
I've been sad that all of the other when all the other big developers that EA has killed have been killed, but I don't know. Like it's never been personal because I've never been a huge fan of them, but like for BioWare, I mean, Mass Effect 2 and 3 are my favorite games of all time, and you see that studio. I mean, everything has to end at some point, but see that studio just gone, it seems like a waste.
Yeah.
I have loved every game they've ever released.
I'm
not going to buy Anthem.
I'm not a big Mass
No.
Effect guy, but I think Dragon Age is like the coolest stuff ever, personally.
Yeah, Dragon Age is awesome.
I can't really relate to Adam's experience as much because I'm not as invested, but it would be, I think it's pretty sad when this kind of stuff happens.
Well, I mean, even just as like a history thing, because I mean, like, BioWare's made some pretty impressive games. I mean, they made
Damn right.
Baldur's Gate, and they made Knights of the Old Republic. Those are two massive games in the PC, world when it
Yeah.
comes to RPGs, and to have those just gone,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, well, KOTOR 1 is like
it's god
it's
tier.
scary good. Yeah, it's one of the best games ever made, in my opinion.
Trolls
Yes.
are dog shit, but
Aaron hates
Sorry,
it, but
Reggie.
that's
I
cannot
will
open
agree with
that up.
Aaron that it's dated, certainly.
it's
It's a product
absolutely
of the
dated.
time. But I think at the time, I don't think you'd be able to introduce somebody new to it unless they were a big Star Wars fan. But I think like at the time, it certainly was revolutionary for RPGs, and it kind of proved to people that you could have Western RPGs on console. Was that Morrowind really? Because those both came out for the Xbox, and they both proved to be very successful.
Yeah, I sign up for that. So this is sad. This is a really depressing topic list.
This might not kill BioWare, because BioWare I think is a lot bigger for EA than even who made Dead Space?
Oh,
Visceral.
God, Visceral. Yeah.
Because I think Visceral was a fairly new company when they were made specifically to make Dead Space. BioWare is kind of a procedural. I don't know if they're going to be an excellent job of it, but at the same time, so was I don't know, like Origin Systems. Origin Systems was like the biggest PC game on the market, naming PC games in the market in the 90s, and they're gone. EA killed them.
Well, who does EA have? It's BioWare and DICE. Are there any other studios?
Respawn, if you count them.
Right, they have Respawn now.
I just said that I couldn't. I was trying to think of a way to relate to Adam's situation. I have one. DICE. The Battlefield games, the old Battlefield games. We were talking about this last night. Those games were amazing. And there's no other game that does that. There is no game right now that does what Battlefield 1942 did, or even Battlefield 2. Really?
No.
Right? There's no game that feels like that.
We were talking about this in chat a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I believe, but there is no major.
Chad?
Chat.
Chat with a T sound. Chat. There's no. I can't except for unless you wanted to go with Armor, which is a bit too far in the other direction. But I can't think of a game that really scratches the old 1944 or 42 or whatever and Vietnam itch. Even Battlefield Bad Company 2, which I think is a great game.
I agree. It is a great game. It's a great FPS.
But it's not that old Battlefield feel.
Yeah.
It was their response to Call of Duty, and it worked because it was really good. But
it's better than Call of Duty, in my opinion.
Yes, yeah, but it's not the same, and I don't think, and because it's Bad Company, it was under the Bad Company logo. I don't think anybody expected it to be the same. That's not what I'm arguing. What I'm saying is, it's just not it's just not the same when it comes to that old. And if they were to release a game tomorrow, Battlefield 1945, I don't know whatever they would call it, and have it be like the old school Battlefield games, I don't even think you would need top of the line graphics. If you just came out with mid-line graphics, I think people would buy it as long as it had that feel. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I want to think that people would buy it, but one of the things that I've realized is that I don't have the best, and maybe Adam's going to actually relate to this. Not to talk shit about you, Adam, but I think you and I have trouble with having a pulse on the current gaming community.
Yes, I will agree to that, because you saw that a couple of weeks ago. I was like, there's no way that Apex Legends is going to do well, and lo and behold, Apex Legends does well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people like anymore, to be honest.
They like graphics. Them kids like them graphics,
I suppose. Yeah, it makes me sad that I'm kind of out of touch with the gaming community. Maybe I was never in touch. I don't know.
That's a salty old man now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I think the fact of the matter is it's not like the people who were a part of the community we're a part of stop existing. They're still our age, and they're still playing. We're still all playing the games that we were, in a way, right?
Like driving trucks around Norway.
I forgot Aaron's actually playing a game right now.
Yeah.
You could still, and it's the way I feel, especially as a Tekken player, right? It's Tekken 7 did incredibly well, and it's done great things to bring in new fans in a way, but it's not like kids are playing Tekken 7. You know what I mean? Kids don't want to play Tekken 7. The guys playing Tekken 7 are my age, right? I'm 26.
Well, to be fair, my cousin is playing Tekken 7.
Your cousin is your cousin playing Tekken 7? That's pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Is your cousin a young guy or
he's just out of he's going into university this year.
Younger than most Tekken players, at the very least. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, so it's brought in some new fans, but it's not like it's a big hit. You know what I mean? It's no Fortnite, right? And a lot of games are no Fortnite, but a lot of games are sort of, maybe there's something else, right? they're a PUBG or they're a Roblox or whatever the hell that game is. Is it called Roblox? Did I get that right?
Yes.
All right, cool. I feel hip now. The
Greetings, fellow kids.
That's all I know about kids is like Roblox and like Minecraft. Minecraft's another game. I'm surprised you guys didn't bring that up because you guys were talking about like things that got popular and got annoying, like Frozen and Fortnite. But you didn't mention Minecraft. To me,
I liked Minecraft.
Oh yeah, but you like
You also
Frozen
like
too.
Frozen.
But like you know, but Minecraft is one of those things that got annoying,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yeah.
And
it got a
actually-
bit. Yeah.
I actually agree with you, Aaron. I think there is a difference between like, I think Fortnite is a good thing in that it beat PUBG, and I don't think that poorly developed games should be rewarded, and that's what PUBG is. It's a poorly developed game. So I'm happy that
That's dog
Fortnite
shit.
showed them up. But I do think there is. It's not necessarily Fortnite's fault that it's gotten annoying, but there's something different fundamentally about games and products that become annoying and games and products that don't become annoying. And it's not popularity, because Halo was super popular. And you cannot point me to a Halo dance or a Halo thing that just took over everywhere you went, because it doesn't exist. Right? There's something, I don't know what it is, but there's something about some of these products that have a unique quality that makes them irritating when you see it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there were some Halo memes, but that's kind of outside the game a little bit.
Yeah, there was Halo memes, but there was no...
And some of those were insufferable.
But Halo was by and large respectable, and it held itself with a certain amount of dignity at the time.
Yeah.
And hopefully it sort of continues to, and hopefully they eventually make that damn movie.
Can I complain about something just very off topic for a second here?
Yeah.
This is gonna be extremely off topic.
That's okay. I'm ready.
I fucking, and Aaron's gonna be the only one who can relate to this. I fucking hate in this fucking game anytime there's a hurricane. When you
Tell the audience what game you're playing. They have no idea.
Oh yeah, I'm playing there's Jurassic World Evolution. Thank you, Rory. I was about to come across like a fucking numpty there. When you're playing Jurassic World Evolution and there's a hurricane, and so you say all the guests get in the shelters, and all the guests start complaining like, "Oh, I don't want to go in the shelters." Like, well, it's either the shelters or the cold blasting winds of this hurricane. You're in here for your own safety. Stop complaining about it. Jesus Christ! I just hate how your popularity in the park makes a fucking nosedive after that. Like, fuck off. I'm trying to keep you alive, you ungrateful git. It's like
That's weird.
Popularity is a funny thing, man. It's not always based on you're doing what's right for people, you know? It's based on, you know, do you have the Szechuan sauce or do you not have the Szechuan sauce, you know? It's a tricky animal.
That's another example of a product that I like, but like popularity is ruined. Like fuck, like
Szechuan sauce.
I like
kinda
Rick and
overrated.
Morty, but like fuck Rick and Morty memes.
Oh, Rick and
man.
Morty is fine, but Rick and Morty fans are degenerates for the most part. Like,
It's like Sonic. Oh no, wait, no, that's not fine.
yeah, Sonic needs to be stopped, but the like Sonic fans are out of control, man.
It's the product and the fans that are bad there.
Yeah, actually,
Can't call all those people with autism degenerates.
Yeah, Rick and Morty's wild. I was watching some more videos of that like last week or something, like the Szechuan sauce videos, because I don't know, I just was in the mood to be mad about something.
Who gives a fuck about Szechuan sauce?
Rick and Morty, man. Well, not Rick and
Who
Morty
gives a
themselves.
fuck?
Rick
So-
does.
Well, Rick, yeah, that's true, yeah, and it turns out a whole
It's
lot
not
of people.
that impressive. It's like it's an okay sauce. It's like, you know, it's
Well,
maybe
that was
top 200.
That was the thing. It was only supposed to be like a minor joke. Like,
Yeah,
oh man,
exactly,
let's talk about this really obscure sauce and like because it'll be really cool. And then like everyone made it a big fucking deal. So now they're like, oh Jesus Christ.
Let me tell you something, all right?
I'm just gonna
The
hit it with these words of wisdom.
my favorite product at Dairy Queen is the Mocha Moo Latte, right?
Is it any good?
It's my favorite product at Dairy Queen. It's fucking
It's
terrific.
my
What are you talking
favorite
about?
product.
I don't know
Name.
why I asked. That was fucking stupid. I'm sorry. That was genuinely the stupidest fucking thing I've ever asked in my life.
So the Moo
I'm real
Latte.
sorry.
So the Moo Latte came out when I was like 6 or 7, right? and I got one right away. I saw a commercial for it. I was like, that looks good, and I got one right away, and I've been drinking them ever since. Right? The Moo Latte is no one else's favorite product at Dairy Queen, right? Because Dairy Queen's got a whole bunch of shit. People go in, they get the Blizzards, or they get that banana split thing, or they get those low-tier ice cream cones. Or like whatever else, or those cold ass burgers.
Fucking yeah, the plebs eat them up.
There's like a lot of stuff you can get, at the Dairy Queen, and a lot of
people you can't get ice
product.
cream burgers at DQ?
Have you Chad the burger? It's about as cold as an ice cream burger.
Have I Chad? What's with Chad this evening? Who's everybody talking about Chad?
And so the thing is, the Moo Latte is only my favorite product. That's it. It's just me, right? But if they took away the Moo Latte, it would be everybody's favorite product. That's the way this shit works, right? Because people would think about the one time they tried one or whatever, and it would become their favorite product, and before you know it, there'd be outrage.
Well, it's good that you said that, Roy, because in 2030, when they discontinue it, and you say, oh, that was my favorite thing, and everybody else also says that, then we go, well, no, episode 197 of the podcast, Roy said it was his favorite
Yeah,
thing
exactly,
already.
yeah, and people will be able to tell that I'm not just like some bandwagoning fuck.
You weren't no hipster nonsense.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, and
this guy OG.
So, like, this is kind of probably what is the deal with Szechuan sauce, right? Like, it's like, because it's no longer there, people love it, right? It's everyone's favorite thing.
But how long has Szechuan sauce not been at McDonald's? I thought it was gone
when did
for
Mulan
30
leave
years.
the theaters? Because that's when that publicity thing ended.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I don't know.
One of the that movie, I did a list of my favorite movies of every year, and that was my favorite movie in 1998.
Mulan?
Yeah, that was my number one movie.
Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan
was your top film of the year.
In 1998, yeah. Great movie.
I'm shocked by that.
This came out in 98.
If I was to pick, is that your favorite Disney movie?
Well, it's one of the only ones I've ever seen, so probably.
I would not have pictured Rory as a Mulan fan.
6-year-old Rory, film critic.
Mulan's a great story, man. It's it's just as good now as it was back then in a lot of ways, and arguably just as relevant. Yeah, terrific.
I will say I'm laughing because I'm surprised, but I genuinely do like Mulan.
Yeah,
it's a good film.
And
yeah, now we got people selling 2-ounce vials of Szechuan on eBay for $64,000, even though you can buy it at the fucking supermarket.
Now it wasn't. Now to be clear, that's my favorite movie that came out in 1998. I'm not sure what my favorite movie was in 1998 when I was when I was 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's be honest, Rory. I mean, 1998, if I remember correctly, was a fucking awful a year for films.
It was, but 1997 was really good, as I recall.
Saving Private Ryan came out in 1998.
I hate Saving Private Ryan.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rory hates that fucking film. I'm surprised you didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about The Thin Red Line? Surely you can't hate both of them. Armageddon? Blade?
I mean, okay,
American History X,
Blade
Fear
is
and
cool.
Loathing in
American
Las
History
Vegas.
X is cool. Obviously, love those movies. When I was, so let's say 1998. I can't remember if it was 1998 or 1997. No, it wasn't 1997 because that's the year it actually came out in theaters. But in 1998, or 1999 was when I watched L.A. Confidential, and that movie was kick-ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure if I go back in time, I might say, oh, that's my favorite movie now. But retrospectively, my favorite 1998 movie is...
Rory, I was going to ask you...
Small Soldiers.
Oh, yeah, it was a good movie.
Adam,
Speaking of
away.
Small Soldiers, I saw a Kickstarter for a game coming out that's basically just Small Soldiers. It's like you're playing as these action figures, and you're fighting little army men. I forget the name of it, but it's on Kickstarter.
Toy Story.
Right, it's not Toy Story. But I was going to say, Rory, do you remember that night that it was right before L.A. Noire was coming out? Me and you and Sandy and Devin sat down and watched a bunch of noir films. We watched L.A. Confidential, and then we watched kind of a more obscure one.
No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I was sick.
You weren't there for that?
Yeah, no, I couldn't make it. We were doing a genre movie set of weeks at every like each person would pick a genre, and Sandy picked noir films. So I wasn't there when you watched L.A. Confidential. I watched.
Said,
Why don't we
fuck
do
that.
I watched. You might have also
Fuck
done that,
that
but
garbage.
this was back in the winter of 2011, and yeah. But I had seen L.A. Confidential. I watched when it came out on DVD, and I remember being
Great movie.
blown away by how intense it was. Super good. That was the same year I watched Evil Dead 2. Actually, I think I'm almost positive.
Prince of Egypt also came out in 1998.
That's a great film.
Yeah.
Mulan versus the Prince of Egypt. What's the better animated movie?
Prince of Egypt.
Well,
Prince of Egypt
You know
has-
what my answer is. So
Prince of
Yeah,
Egypt
the
has the
Mulatto.
most impressive animation I have ever seen in a film, like 2D animation. It is some of the most, if not the most, in terms of facial expressions. I'm gonna link it in the chat if I can find it. And Aaron,
I know. I agree with you.
like, there's a
Great
scene
movie.
where Ramesses it's the scene
I've never
where
heard of it. So.
where Moses is basically telling Ramesses that he's come back not as his brother, but as God's emissary to free his people. And there's a scene of betrayal on where Ramesses it's like 40 seconds of animation, but Ramesses is looking at his brother as he's basically his brother's telling him, I'm not here to be your brother, I'm here to be your enemy. And there's just an amazing piece of animation where you can see him going through all the different stages of grief. Like, you can see him going through, fear, sadness, not rejection, but what is it called? The denial, and then anger. And it's so subtle in the animation, but you can absolutely tell what this person's thinking. It's absolutely brilliant. It's like some of the most brilliant animation I've ever seen. And the songs in that are amazing. The fact that DreamWorks was able to pull off a movie better than Disney could about this about a religious subject matter and have it be like that good is amazing. And the fact that nobody talks about Prince of Egypt as a crime. Sorry, that's my rant about Prince of Egypt.
I just like Mulan better. I don't have a thing on it. I'm sorry.
Rory, what if I told you that 1998 was also the year that the Vince Vaughn remake of Psycho came out? Is Mulan still your favorite of that year?
Yeah, even with that, even with Vince Vaughn.
I was watching
Vince
Bill
Vaughn
Paxton
is such a
and Twister,
cinematic
man.
powerhouse. Man, I thought, you see Kevin James, and you think you've seen all there is to see, right? And then you got Vince Vaughn, and then if you're a really indie guy, you got David Spade. And that's what else?
I will say,
what else do you
Brawl
need?
in Cell Block 99 is a legitimately great film.
I've saved
starring
it.
Vince Vaughn.
I've got it. It's literally one of the first things you see when you look at the photos of my phone is the photo of the IMDb page for that, so I can remind myself to watch it. And I haven't still haven't
fucking
watched
nerd.
it. So yeah, that's the podcast, episode 197. It ended up being sort of longer
Yep.
than I thought it was going to be, but that's all right.
Half an hour longer. Did we finish up the fucking topic list?
Yeah.
Ranting on about nonsense.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, and some subset of us will be back next time.
Yep.
With more stuff. So we'll see you then.
You can catch
We
Vince
will be
Vaughn
talking
in
about
the
Alita Battle
Mulate
Angel
movie.
next week.
You'll be talking about what financial?
Yeah.
I heard financial.
Alita Battle Angel.
Ah,
We'll be
okay.
Yes,
talking
we
about
are
that 'cause we're
recording the
going-
podcast on Thursday this week because we are going to Alita Battle Angle tomorrow, and we will talk about it next week.
tomorrow being Friday.
Tomorrow being Friday, yes.
Yeah, so we're
Which is when we normally record the podcast.
I'm looking forward to this film. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
I'm going to see it like
what
next
happens.
week, but I'm super looking forward to it.
You're not going
Yeah,
tomorrow?
Roy's not seeing
No,
it.
I'm not going tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because he hates
I
it.
heard
see
good
him.
things.
Vince Vaughn in the Mulate movie.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
See you next time.